Update. Am I the a-hole for wanting nothing to do with my kids and ex-wife after 2 years of false allegations? Original post, posted June 29, 2025. Last year, my kids, 9 female and 7 male, ran away late at night/early in the morning. When found by some city officials, they claimed I kicked them out of the house. I woke up that morning to the cops and CPS knocking on the door. I told my side of the story from what I knew, and they had my now ex-wife tell her side while keeping us separated. The cops claimed our stories didn't match and ended up arresting me. I bailed myself out that same day and went to live with my parents for a while. I was dealing with court, scared that I was going back to jail or prison and that I'd lose my job, which I had only been at for a year. A little over a month went by and I got a phone call to have a meeting with a CPS woman in charge of our case. My daughter ended up making more allegations against me that did not make any sense to the CPS people, and when they asked her questions, she was unable to give them answers. My son ended up breaking first and admitting the whole thing was made up, and that my daughter was the one who orchestrated everything. This reveal led to the charges being dropped and my daughter getting counseling and psychiatric help. For a while, I thought things were good. We were on our way to fixing things. I kept trying to get all of us into therapy, both individually and as a family. I was already in therapy due to this whole situation anyway. My ex kept dragging her feet and it never went anywhere. After some other situations, like being displaced due to a natural disaster and me trying to get things packed up in our old apartment, I got told by my ex that she wanted a divorce. So now I was having to rush and try to find a place to live, which I did luckily. I actually move in tomorrow. On the 14th of June, I got served an emergency protection order by the county sheriff's office. I was told it's because I allegedly hit my son and gave him a concussion while in the grocery store, where there are cameras. He had been taken to the emergency room by my ex on the 14th, but this event allegedly happened on the 10th. I had told my ex that due to me having to get this house to rent, along with utilities in my name, adding up to over $2,000, I wasn't going to be able to pay certain bills this month, but that I'd get them caught up as soon as I could to get everything paid off and even. I signed for the deposit on the 11th, and the kids had been with her while I did this paperwork, and there was no issue. That same morning, I had taken my kids to the park so they could play, and I recorded videos of them being silly and having fun. I was talking to my therapist this week and told her what was going on and how I felt about being around my ex or the children. It's 2 years in a row of false allegations. I want nothing to do with any of them now. I'll pay child support gladly. I had an agreement with my ex before this all happened of paying $1,000 a month, $500 per paycheck for child support. After all of this, am I the a-hole for not wanting to be around the children and my ex after everything gets settled and found out to be lies again? Edit. I posted this before I clocked in at work, so let me give some more details. My ex-wife and I were still together when the kids ran away last year. My side of the story during that was that I came home from work, talked with the kids and wife, gave the kids their melatonin gummies before sending them to bed, after which I took a shower before making myself something for dinner and cleaning up afterward. By this point, my ex was already asleep, and so were the kids. When CPS and the mental health professionals were talking to my daughter after everything got cleared, she was saying the voices she was hearing were telling her to do things. The mental health professionals said this sounded too rehearsed to them. It later got revealed that she had been watching videos on YouTube about kids pranking their parents, and she wanted to try it out herself. She had access to YouTube due to tablets that my mother-in-law had given the kids for Christmas back in 2023, which I disagreed with but was ignored. At the time, and to this day, I do not believe my ex had a hand in the running away situation. On to this year, my son went to the ER on the 14th because he had, and I quote from the paperwork I was given, dizziness, lightheaded feeling, and a nosebleed. I am not sure how he received a concussion. Nothing is finished with this situation yet, and nothing has been decided in terms of child support. We go back to court next month to revisit this after the investigation has finished. On the day I received the EPO, I talked to a state trooper and told him the kids' history, showed the videos of my kids playing, and showed receipts on my banking app from when we were at Walmart and at what time we were there. As of right now, I haven't heard anything else. I have already been interviewed by CPS and informed them of the same things I told the state trooper, because it is a different person on this case, as my ex and kids live in a different county at the moment. This time, I firmly believe that my ex is behind this, due to my telling her some of the bills would have to wait, because I'm having to pay approximately $2,500 to move, put down deposits, and pay first and last month's rent. I haven't seen my kids since I dropped them off with my grandparents on the afternoon of the 11th. I have not made a decision about staying away from my kids, but I do plan on talking to a lawyer in the next couple of days, and I'm looking into security for my house and a discreet body camera to wear, like many other users have suggested. I'll try to answer any other questions that I can, but I move tomorrow and I have some last-minute things to pack up and put in my car and move downstairs. Thank you for all of your insights, words, thoughts, and prayers. It means a whole lot to me, more than I can put into words. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not the a-hole. I am one of the loudest fight for your kids advocates ever. It takes disasters for me to think a parent should distance themselves. You, sir, have a disaster here. My big suspicion? How sure are you that your ex-wife isn't the one orchestrating all of this? It seems extremely unlikely that without her orchestrating this, both your kids would make up such nonsense one after another. I think you get the best lawyer you possibly can and go for broke. You either get 100% uninhibited custody, etc., or walking away may be your only option. If you lose, just wait for her to later expose herself, then reconsider. I also suspect his soon-to-be ex is behind all this. I wouldn't give her a dime more than legally required. Not the a-hole. There's only so much a person can put up with. It's sad since it involves your kids, but you have to protect yourself emotionally, mentally, and financially. I need some things cleared up here. I saw your comment about your kids watching YouTube videos about running away before all of this happened, and you also say your wife was asleep. Even if your stories didn't match, it doesn't explain why you were arrested. Your child allegedly received a concussion and was taken to the ER. And if it happened in public, a grocery store, it should be verifiable. You point to cameras but doesn't confirm what they show? I haven't heard anything back yet about the cameras in the store, and I honestly have no idea what the cops were thinking with that. I work in law enforcement, but not as a cop, and this has honestly made me very distrustful of them. Now for the first update a month later. So I have an update, along with answering some questions better from my previous post. When I first posted this, I was not in a good headspace, and I realized that I wasn't very clear. To be honest, I'm still not in a good headspace, but it's a little bit better. For starters, these false allegations started last year when my kids were 9 and 7. When I said 2 years, I meant calendar years. When I said I spoke to the police about my side of the story last year, I meant what happened the night before the police and CPS showed up at the front door. I had gotten home, spent some time with the kids and my ex-then-wife, gave the kids their melatonin gummies. This was done on an as-needed basis, mainly 2 to 3 times a week at most. After that, I went and took a shower, made myself some dinner, then ate and cleaned up the kitchen before spending more time with my then-wife before we both went to bed. Due to a contraction happening when she was being given the epidural, she sleeps better propped up, so she slept on the couch while I and the kids slept upstairs. The next morning is when I woke up to the cops at the door with CPS. I was charged with child abandonment and arrested. It took over a month for the truth to come out about my kids making this up, due to the fact my daughter was saying I was having sex with her. The CPS agent conducting the investigation tried to ask more details, and that's when my daughter started crying and admitted she made it up because she couldn't give details. The only reason my daughter even knew what sex was is because my ex and I were in the bedroom and we both thought the other locked the door, and my daughter walked in on us. Moving to now, I don't know how my son got this supposed concussion. We had court again on Monday, the 21st, and when the judge asked my ex, she told him that, after talking with a state trooper, we have decided to not press criminal charges. I asked the judge if there was any evidence that they had about what they're claiming I did, and he told me that since no charges were filed, there's no evidence gathered to give to me. I want to thank everyone for their answers on my last post. Thinking about those feelings was making me sick to my stomach, and I just needed some perspectives from people who weren't emotionally involved. I thought about this since last month, and I made the decision to tell the judge I want the divorce process and this EPO to be over and done with, and that I just want to be left alone. I'm still questioning if this was the right decision or not. I'm just not sure what else I could do. I work 12-hour days, 5 to 6 days a week. I have no way to take care of the kids, so I can't take them in. Even then, am I supposed to get to the point where the court system says supervised visits aren't needed anymore and just start wearing a body camera around the kids and just be scared all the time? Looking over my shoulder constantly just to make sure that I'm not going to end up in jail again? We have a hearing set up for December to hopefully get everything finalized and finished. I keep thinking about the kids going trick-or-treating in 3 months, going back to school next month, how we won't be decorating Christmas trees together or making cookies for Santa, and I start crying all over again. I'm not sure what else I could have done though that wouldn't have made me a paranoid mess 24/7. This will be the last update until December or January, I guess. Thank you again to everyone saying I wasn't an a-hole for feeling this way. Have a good one, Reddit. Did your ex-wife explain why she wanted a divorce? Her words was that she just isn't in love with me anymore, and we've both become too different. She's religious. I'm not. Both have different views on things that we can't come to an agreement on. After last year, I wanted to get us into therapy and got some recommendations for marriage counselors, and gave her the list and said that I'd be fine with whoever she chose, so long as we worked on it. She never chose anyone and kept making excuses about why every time I asked. Second update a week later. So this is a really small update that I wasn't expecting to make. I had left a voicemail for the CPS agent assigned to the current situation with my son, asking for an update on everything because I haven't heard anything since June. She had to look in her case notes, but everything has been found to be unsubstantiated. I should be getting the official paperwork in a few days to a week in the mail. I'm not sure how to feel about this, honestly. I'm relieved that the truth has come out about these allegations, angry that this has happened to me twice now, happy that this is one step closer to being finished. I want to cry, but I couldn't tell you the specific emotion that's causing it. I'm taking some other Redditors' words to heart and putting in a request to my state police records department to get copies of any and all paperwork, evidence or lack thereof, anything I can get my hands on from them. I'm also getting copies of my son's medical records so I can see exactly what was found back in June. I know a lot of you don't believe this, and I don't care. I have nothing to gain from lying about this. I'll gladly post pictures of the paperwork from CPS when it comes in, with all private information redacted, of course, to protect myself and my children. I know some of the details don't make sense between the OG post and the update, but like I saw one person mention in a Reddit sub, which I love to read posts from and didn't expect my own to end up there. I'm just going into survival mode. I only just got a full-sized fridge 2 days ago. I only have an air mattress for a bed. I'm just tired. I want this over with. I want things to go back to January, when all I had to worry about was the fact I was recovering from a car wreck and couldn't even help take down the Christmas trees and get a new car. I think it's good you're getting those medical records because, if he really did have a concussion, it's possible that your ex tried to pin it on you to hide who really did it. And that's something that CPS should actually be looking at. Also, are we exploring the option that someone else may have assaulted the daughter? I think it's actually kind of common for abused children to accuse someone other than the actual abuser. It feels like OP should be pushing for someone to look into the kid's situation, even just getting them a therapist or someone to talk to who is a mandated reporter and can keep an eye out. Now for the last update a month later. So I didn't think I would be back with any sort of update until December, but here I am. For the ones who DM'd me, I also want to say thank you for reaching out. I may not have answered, but I really appreciated reading the messages. After my last update, I tried looking for something to do on my days off work. My first thought was the animal shelter nearby because it's not even a 5-minute drive from my house. Turns out it's closed on my days off. I looked around for neighboring counties, and those were even less helpful. A lot of them required I attend some sort of orientation, but there's no set day of the week for the orientations. I know it would be good for my mental health in the long run, but in the short term, taking a day off from work to attend the orientation, potentially making my paycheck smaller, isn't helpful. So I decided to try dating. I wasn't going into this looking for anything serious. I just wanted to try some casual dates to get out of the house and meet people. That's not what happened. I made a profile on a dating app and kind of just left it alone. One of the pictures I had put on there was of my cat. He's an orange cat presenting as a tuxedo cat. No brain cell whatsoever. I got a message, and this woman was talking about how cute my cat was and how he matched one of hers. We talked about our cats for a while, then things got flirty, and I asked her out on a date. I feel like it went well since she stuck around anyway. We found out that there are so many similarities between what we like and our senses of humor that my friends think I found a female version of myself, which I think is funny because when she meets them, that means they're screwed. After almost a month of us talking and going on the occasional date, I told her I had some things to tell her and then something to ask her. I was upfront with everything that happened last year and this year, showing her the paperwork that I had to show that I was innocent in all of this. After telling her all of this, I asked if she still wanted to stick around, or if she wanted to walk away and not get dragged into any drama that she could get put through just because of us having a relationship. She hugged me, cried for me, which got me to start crying, and told me that she was sorry I had to go through something like that. Once the two of us stopped trying to flood my house from crying, more myself than her, I asked her if she wanted to make things official between us, and she said yes. I was honestly so scared to tell her about what happened with my kids and ex. I was dead certain that once I told any prospective girlfriend this, they would walk away so that their own lives wouldn't get ruined. But she stayed, and I'm so incredibly grateful for that. We agreed to take it slow so that we don't rush into anything too quickly. I can't remember which of my posts it was on, and to be honest, there are too many comments on them all to be able to find them. But a Redditor said that, essentially, they hope I find someone and can actually be happy after all of this drama with my ex-wife and kids. I want to thank them for saying that, because between them speaking it into existence and my cat being, well, him, it seems to have worked. I'm not back up to 100% though. I'm still scared that something else will happen that will somehow mess my life up even more. I'm scared of the cops showing up at my house with new allegations, even though I haven't done anything. I'm scared of running into my ex or the kids in public just by going grocery shopping and somehow getting arrested over it. Every time I drive home and a sheriff, state police, or city police vehicle comes towards me or drives by the house, I can feel my anxiety spike. I have cameras up that record my front door, back door, and where I park my car outside my house, and cameras inside that cover my front door and my back door. I have other means of showing my location on my phone and where I've traveled, if I've traveled at all that day. I keep any receipts from shopping, or even grabbing something to eat while in town, just so I have timestamps of where I've been and when I was there. It's a mess, but I'm doing what I can. I'm looking forward to learning more about my girlfriend that my dingus of a cat helped me meet. I'm looking forward to being able to not live in fear of police. I'm looking forward to being able to live and not just not die right now. Again, I want to thank everyone for their thoughts, advice, comments, everything. I'm still gathering paperwork and what evidence I can about all of this, and sadly I still don't have answers about why this has been happening. I don't know how my son got this supposed concussion. I don't know if my ex is coaching them. I don't know if someone is in their lives because of my ex that is causing all of this. I don't know if I'll get those answers. But right now I'm going to keep searching and fighting for myself until I either can't find anything else or I get answers. I would demand a psych evaluation of the kids as part of the divorce. I'm afraid they are being coached by their mom, and if that is the case, it is abuse and you have to protect your kids. Have a professional do a full evaluation because they could be as much victims as you are. I'm leaning towards that. I'm just wanting to get to tax time so I can get my return and hire a lawyer. Last story. Am I the a-hole for snapping at my girlfriend's friend who wanted to take care of her for the night? I am 21 male, and my girlfriend is 27 female. We have been together for 3 years. She says she is a private person and does not want to publicize our relationship much, which I agreed to. But her friends, even the ones who know we are together, hit on her as if she were single, and it seems to me she enjoys the attention. Her guy friends act as if I am invisible. Just last weekend, one of her male friends told her he could take care of her tonight and stay by her side, right in front of me. And Sarah found nothing wrong with it. In fact, she was angry at me for snapping at her friend because apparently I was making a huge fuss over her so-called friend's concern for her and could not act mature even when she was sick. She had a headache and mild fever, not some life-threatening illness that required someone to nurse her the entire night in her room. I could have taken care of her just as well, yet she acted like I overreacted. I am not sure if I was wrong in refusing her friend's offer to stay one-on-one with her for the whole night, but she definitely believed I was overreacting since I am young. After this incident, I told Sarah that either she acknowledges me properly without any air of ambiguity, or I will leave. She told me I was being immature for expecting her to yell about our relationship from the rooftops, and said I was breaching her privacy. So am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. The baseline minimum in a relationship should be your girlfriend acknowledging you exist. You're not immature for wanting that. Yeah, and I was not wrong in not allowing her friend to stay with her one-on-one, right? Please say it was nothing wrong and I was not inconsiderate and insensitive in doing so, because she made me feel like crap for it, and I need external validation. She's playing with you like you are a toy. She likely makes fun of you with her friends, which is why none of them respect you. Respect yourself and dump her.